I was a fan of the Flaming Lips. Yoshimi Battles the Pink Robots was a huge record at that time. I listened to it countless times, and yes, I was absolutely a fan. I loved their Pro Tools pyrotechnics. The production was really exciting and jarring, and it was clear that they had a very particular worldview that they were trying to push. And so, yeah, I was a fan. I had not seen Flaming Lips live before we played with them at Madison Square Garden on New Year's Eve, but the venue held plenty of significance for me. I grew up in New Jersey. I was born in Glen Ridge, about 20 minutes west of the Lincoln Tunnel. My father was a recording engineer in New York City, and I would travel into New York with him as a kid, going to recording sessions, mostly for an artist named Bob James, and I loved it. I was never afraid of New York in the 70s. I have such a deep fondness for that place, and Madison Square Garden was a huge deal. I first was there at some point in the late 80s when Billy Joel played on the Innocent Man tour, and we went with my parents' upstairs tenant in our house in Atlantic Highlands, where we were living at the time. And yeah, finding out that we were playing Madison Square Garden on New Year's Eve, it was a bucket list moment that I didn't even think was ever going to be possible. And then it happened. It was really exciting. We came to New York 2 nights before that show, and we played a show at Pianos in the Lower East Side with David Cross and Fred Armisen and Todd Barry. And Pianos is a tiny little nightclub with a performance room in the back and a bar on the front. Maybe it fit 40 people. It was David Cross's show called Tinkle at the time, and we were there and we had sound checked. I was playing some very hilarious synthesizer that I would never choose to play for these songs, but it's what was there. And there was like a house kit, and we brought some guitars, and we were in the back of the venue, and we were announced like, and ladies and gentlemen, here comes Wilco. And people in the audience were like, holy shit, it really is Wilco. And then we played, I don't know, maybe 5 songs, some of the covers that we were doing. Political Science by Randy Newman was one of the songs we played that night. And afterward, we went out to another bar in the Village, and I was having a beer and hanging out with some of the guys. And Carrie comes up and says, oh, hi, I'm Carrie, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. And I was like, and who are you again? And she's like, I'm Carrie and I play in Sleater-Kinney. I was just like, oh God. When we toured with them in 2021, that was the first story that I told her and apologized again for forgetting. But she misremembered my name at that moment. Madison Square Garden. That day, I arrived at the venue and we were receiving our copies of the gold record for Yankee Hotel Foxtrot. And despite the fact that I didn't work on that album directly, I was there for almost all of the touring behind that record. And so as a result, I got my own copy of the Yankee Hotel Foxtrot gold record from None Such Records. That was a very cool moment to start off that day. And yeah, I love being in those venues during sound check and before the show, before the audience is there. And there's just lots of activity, people cleaning up, setting up t-shirts at the merch counter, and just a million things going on at once. And Fred Armisen was there, and he would do some sketches between the acts. Kind of classic vaudeville idea, but that was really great. But I didn't have much interaction with the Lips backstage. They were in a different dressing room and we didn't know them, and if I'm being honest, I was battling deep, heroic amounts of imposter syndrome. Like, what am I doing here? I don't deserve to be here. Somebody's made a mistake. There's no way that I could be playing in New Year's Eve at Madison Square Garden in New York City. And I think I just played it cool and didn't really venture out and try and bridge that gap with anybody in their camp. Not because they were not nice or anything like that. It was all me. It was all my stupid, screwed up mentality at the time. The Flaming Lips set. Flaming Lips shows typically are, I haven't been to many of them, but what I've experienced is that every show is New Year's Eve. One of the things that was really remarkable is when we got to the venue, there's this area behind the stage filled with massive, I'm gonna guess and say they were 8-foot diameter balloons, and there must have been 100 of these things neatly stacked up backstage. And I remember seeing one of the guys from the Flaming Lips crew with like a leaf blower, and he puts the leaf blower with this special attachment onto the big balloons and turns on the blower, and then this balloon just starts inflating. And they were all filled with a little bit of confetti, so when they eventually did pop, there would be this report. It was like, oh, that's a perfect idea. Why not use a leaf blower to blow up these massive balloons? I don't have any specific memories about the Sleater-Kinney set. We were backstage, they were on stage, but playing our show, maybe this sounds like bullshit, but I think the thing that happened as a performer is that or at least for me, I'll just sort of speak for my own energy that day. Sure, it was a big deal. Sure, it was a very visible show, but we had been playing in this current lineup since May of that year, I believe, with Nels and Patrick in the mix. We knew what we were doing. We had been touring pretty relentlessly that year, so there wasn't anything that I felt nervous about. I knew the songs. I know that everybody else knew the songs. We had planned to play a bunch of covers after midnight. I don't remember all of them, but some highlights were Livin' After Midnight by Judas Priest, with me playing Flying V on stage at midnight at Madison Square Garden, which was pretty cool. That was a good moment. That's a pretty easy song as far as playing, me playing guitar all of a sudden was, it was really great. And we played Gut Feeling by Devo, Love Will Keep Us Together. There's a whole bunch of others that we were playing, and that was maybe a little bit stressful because those were songs we didn't normally do, and I think I was just trying to make sure that I was as confident with the material as I could be. But when we were playing the covers portion of the set, Glenn Kotche, our Wilco drummer, decided to invite Steven Drozd to come play a song, and so I was really kind of focused in my own world, and then like got into it and everything was going well, and I look up and there's Glenn shaking a shaker behind Steven, who was playing the drums on that song. And I thought to myself, wow, I didn't know that was going to happen, but that's all right. But it was really fun. It was really a joyous experience, and there's also a little bit of sadness in a way because both my parents passed away 2003 and then 2004. And so my dad passed away in 2003 and my mom in 2004. So I was excited to be there, but very sad that they wouldn't be able to come see me play there. But life goes on, and we somehow survived.
Everyone, you know, someday